Okay, so where are we at? Where's my scraper? There it is. So we're actually we're good. Okay, so I am scraping Oanda API. We've got the links. That's great. So we should, I guess, spawn more workers to work on all the URLs, but I'll do that later. Okay. We're already at the account page, so I guess we need to select these and start scraping them. To get some CSS selectors, that will work. Where's inspect? There. It's like 1 AM for me. It's the only quiet time I get to actually do any streaming or programming. Okay, so I've got single column. We need to zoom in more. Account endpoint. So I guess we want that account endpoints because we want to get the word account. Because if we go to like instrument, it'll say instrument endpoint, or maybe we can just get it. We'll get it from the URL. That's cool. We don't need that. So what we need is these request parameters, and we need that. Inspect. So we need that big get, which is, I guess we need this div endpoint header method get. So let's make some CSS to get all the endpoint header, but we need to also join that with the request part, which is the next div along. So we want to get like a fragment including both of these, and then we want to get both of those. So we want single column dot div. Let's try that. Hash single column. Do we want the straight to? How do you do like straight after it? Like that. Do all this immediate children. Background color red. Zoom this up and zoom that down, so that seems to get what we want. It doesn't get this table though. Let's have a look at this table because we'll need that. Inspect. But it does get its parent, so that's fine. We can keep on going. So let's use that in our code. I forgot where it was now. Okay. It was here. Oh, we need to get the child to. Need to get that. There you go. Background column div. So get all the documentation, and we'll put it in a function. Let equals. What should you call? Literally call it endpoint docs. Done. We'll just make it here. Endpoint docs. Maybe I should zoom in the screen a bit. Wow. Cool. What do we need? We need a fragment, I guess. We know we need the actual document. Oh, look, it's already prompting us for it, and we're returning a vec of. We haven't created a structure, but we want to stick this in a struct. We'll put it in endpoint doc. And this will have, not title, I have a HTTP method, which it gonna be get, or I guess we need to make that into a enum, or can we use someone now? We'll use our own. Probably put some documentation column in there. Get the documentation for the endpoint docs. And this I'm going to move into a different library later on, so I'm just hacking it together right now. Selector equals that. This selector is going to get me top level, I guess. It's getting me all that bit, so I guess that's what I need. I'll call it top level. And then we've got to actually pass it. Selector, use scraper selector. So like a new pass, there you go. Maybe I should be using from instead of pass. Let's look at the code quickly. Because pass generates errors, and then I have to handle the errors like here. Yank. And the trouble with the pass error is that it has a lifetime in there. So it's hard to take anywhere with you because of the borrow checker. Let me search for, let's look here, how to do selector here. I'm just going past it and ramp. Okay, I guess that's how you do it. There's no rusty compile time checking way of making them. That's a bit sad. Cool. Returns true if the element matches the selector. Oh, cool. Matches. Returns true if the element matches the selected option scope. I don't know what that means, but okay. Cool. I've got to put a result in here. Zip. We should make our own result type, I guess. Pub type result. I'm gonna make it a whatever, and I think I'll do like that. Is that gonna work? Nope, cycle. Okay, so we're going to return, import this result as error stack result. Error stack result. Are we happy now? Then everywhere we use result, we've got to go, okay, select result, forward comma, to the end, delete. Cool. Now we're looking happier. Okay, so we've got the top selector. So at the moment, I guess, then we need to go digging deeper. So we've got this, we need to get from the top selector the method, the get method. So let's have a look at that. Span class equals method. Okay, so it'll be just dot method. That'll be easy. And we want the text from it. Okay. let's just print them out for now to make it look good. We're not printing out the URLs. What is it? Where's our test? Oh, they're printing out the URLs here. It's just, we don't need that anymore. We're going to print this out though. So let's just select the top method. So we go let top fragment. I guess we could just call it top equals document dot select. Yep. Top selector. Is that going to raise an error? Nope. Great. That's going to be like a. It's going to be a select object. Turns an iterator over elements matching a selector. So we just want to get dot next, I guess. And if it is empty, we just return nothing. So I guess we're just going to go here and go sum. If we don't get the top fragment, else return an empty vec. And I'm going to write that in okay. Cool. So that's a top fragment, and then we're going to go let. It's going to be the same pattern. Method. Maybe I should, now that we've got the result here, we should do that other bit inside of a lambda so that I can just go question mark. So much work. We'll just keep it simple. Okay. Now we need the fragment. Top fragment dot select, and we'll use the method selector. And if you can't find a method, well, that's actually an error, I guess. Yeah, I guess go else bail. Able to find HTTP method, and I guess that's as much as we need. Yeah, if we can't do it, we'll just bail. And that needs to be imported from error stack. Okay, we've got a bunch of I'm going to pass it a document. A bunch of yellow that we've got to fix. Let's just go through that. Mismatch type. Oh, because it hasn't got a okay at the end of it. And what we need is to do, because we haven't finished coding it yet. Expected selector. Expected a reference, got an actual thing, that's easy to fix. Expected string found. Okay, so my error new, I've got to make it just accept anything that's into string. Implement toString. I think it's toString or into string, I'm not sure. Some message dot. Is that happy? Yep, cool. Go back. HTTP method doesn't exist, so we'll just create that. Probably no. So all of this is going to go in a different library, so I might as well stick it in a namespace now. What are we calling it? Structs. No, that's terrible. What did I call it in the converter? Converter types, I guess. That's a bad name too. Intermediate types. Library. rename it later. This is like intermediate between Rust, HTTP to HTML to Rust. It's like the intermediate type, so we'll call it. I'll just call it types. Can we do that? Type is a keyword. Get post. Beautiful. Got to import that. Maybe I should just shove this at the top. It's looking uglier and uglier. To do move this into its own. All of these out into their own library. Everything's pub. Yeah. Next, endpoint doc, we've got to import it. That's easy. Done. Get contents never used, unused. It's all just hints now, so that's great. We'll come back to that because everything's unfinished, so that's what you got to expect. Okay, println method. Got HTTP method. Okay, now I've got to go. Okay. So I just want to run that now. See how we go. Is it scraper, cargo, test, no capture. Can it be formatted with? Because the method, I need to get the text out of it. Okay. Method equals. Do we get the HTML text? There you go. Dot as string dot last. What is method? It's a text object. What is a text object? I'm guessing it's that one. It's got a dot text. Okay, fine. We'll just go dot text dot text. Are we happy now? Nope. No field text on element ref text. Oh, okay, so it's element ref. There's no element ref. Select text. That's next. Okay, just show me what options I've got here. Just use the thirst analyzer. Method dot. What have we got? Intuit account last chain. It's I guess we want to join them all. What we want is a string. And then I guess we've got to go next because we only want the first text object. Else mail error new. Should I put unable? That sounds so bad. Couldn't extract the method text. Cool. Don't need that. Is that gonna work? No, because apparently next is gonna return option with a ampersand. I guess we can just put two equals. We don't need it to be a string. We can use a reference to a str. And that's an option. I've got to put rapid and sum. Is it going to give me that rest analyzer option? No. Run, my baby, run. I want to print got thing, got reference, and it's a, okay, it's a get. Yay. Let's commit that. Can now get a single, which probably should get all of them, a single HTTP method for a struct, for a endpoint documentation. I should really get a test, do a proper test at the bottom, but we'll get there. I mean, it's going to generate a whole bunch at the end anyway. Why did it only do one method selector? Because we're just doing one here, that's why. We don't want to, so we've got to go do all of the methods. Methods. There's no sum now, it's going to be all of them. Don't need a bail. Delete. For method fragment in methods. So now we should print several of them. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh well. Is it going to print several methods now? Got method get. It's only printing one. And I guess we don't need that. And literally it's just a map, so we don't even need the bail. Dot map method dot text, and it's going to be a flat map. Why not? Do we want a bail if we can't find the text? Yeah, we do, because it's not doing it properly. Change. And that's going to be next. I mean, okay, that's what I mean. Back. Delete. That's going to go in here. Replace. And then do we need to collect it? There's going to be a... it's making it ugly by using the... undo everything. We're good. We need that to be method fragment. Okay. So we're good. We don't need the map anymore. I'm just going to iterate through them. We're going to say, okay, we've got a method, and if we can't get it, we should print some kind of context or we need where we are in the page. I guess we could put the fragment in there. Can we just... is that gonna work? Alright, compile, so it should be good. Okay, they're good. And we got the method. But still, it's only getting one. I would expect it. Actually, let's just make sure what web. We're going to instrument endpoint, which is here. I would expect it to gather more than one. Yeah, there should be 3. So my next question is, why is it only gathering 1? Got HTTP method. Just run it again. Let's see if I'm dreaming. So many warnings. Only one. Gar. Let's figure out why. Endpoint docs, we don't care about that. This is what we're calling. Get the top selector. Get the method selector. So it's going to get single column / div. Then, so we're going .next. We need to get, no, but that should only return one. Because hash single column div. Hash single column is right here, and that includes all of them, so that's good. And then we're getting all the divs directly underneath. That's one, but it's invisible. That's one, but it's invisible, so it should work. We only need one of, no. Okay, single column, and then we want to get all the divs underneath it. We're only getting one. Okay, that's cool. So is that bad? We don't need a next anymore. We need not top fragment, but one API call. REST method. Okay, yeah, REST method. We've got method fragment. We've already got method fragment down below. And this will become, what is that part? Dot method. Dot method is dot method is that part there. So I'm thinking, okay, method, I'm not naming things right. This is going to be called method call, API call. And there's not going to be some, it's going to be a whole bunch. Delete. Then we go for API call and API calls. That all goes in there. Format, please. Come on. I want to format it myself. Final format it myself. Oh, I guess I could actually make some proper Rust so it can format it. For method and methods, there you go. So this is the ACGP method. I should actually, I'll just comment it. Get the there's only going to be one now, so we can do a bail again. I mean that will work. It'll print 3, but okay, it won't work. Top fragment is gone. Excuse me. Sorry to blow your ears off. Wow. And then we don't need this. We do the select and we go not next, and if we're not, we go else bail. Because there's only going to be one. We'll just type it in. And it should have one. If it doesn't have one, it means our selectors are wrong, or the web page doesn't match our way of parsing, scraping. So we're going to say couldn't find the method div, and then we can put the API call fragment in. Cool, and then we don't need 4 methods. Oh, there's going to be some here. good. API call is not format. Doesn't support the display trait. It does support debug trait, and then cool. What's the issue now? Expected semicolon. Fair enough. There you go, semicolon. Run. Now we're going to get 3 gets. Oh, we're getting a fail. Rest unwrap on error. Web scraper error. Panic. I don't remember doing an unwrap anywhere. That's that. Okay. Oh, there. Okay, so get content. So also I'd like to add in here, it's already a report, so I'll just go attach printable lazy that gonna work, and get rid of the question mark, move it to the end. Happy with that? It's got to be a happy with that. Yes, nice. I've got to put that on every. Probably it should be on whoever's calling actually. Okay, put that there again, and we'll just put it down in the Google get content. Bam. There's no question mark on this. Why is that? Because it hasn't got the trait, which I think is a result extension. Borrow, move on URL. That's cool, because we will go. Just go URL clone here. Happy. But now we've got to actually fix the error. So it panicked at line 47. I want to see the pretty arrow with the URL showing in it. At URL, nice. And this, so this doesn't give any information. It's line 47. It doesn't give you a fragment or anything. 47, 40, 47. Couldn't find method for div. Why does it not print out? Couldn't find method for div. Web scraper error. That's all it. Okay. My implement display for web scraper error is crap. That's what the issue is. So we've got to go self.message dot unwrap or is that gonna work? As ref, then I've got to go map. Map. Format's best be a spring literal. That's okay, we'll just put that then. And a comma. So we're going to get unwrap. That's not a method. We're going to get self.message, which is an option. Do I need asref? Probably yes. Yeah, I do. Okay. Which will reference the string inside it and then call that as string. Do I need that? Probably yes. Okay, cool. That's nice. So now when I run it and the errors, I'll get a beautiful error message with a fragment of HTML that's humongously large and useless. Okay. But is that useful? That's too big, man. I don't want to see the whole fragment. It's got the whole document in there. Panicked at Rust. Couldn't find method for div element ref. So we've got a node ref. So we need to make the node ref printing prettier. Where's node ref? It's fading here, line 47, and we're pretty we're pretty debugging the API call. An API call is an element ref. Is there a way to get prettier information from element ref? Alright, HTML doc. Oh, we can get the value returns the element, and then what uses that? I don't know. It returns HTML of this. Okay, so we can do that. Let's do that. Return the HTML of the element. API call.html. And do the same here. Method.html. So now it'll be a much prettier error, and we'll be able to. Oh, now I know what's wrong. So the error is still a lot of HTML, but wow, there's a lot of HTML. We're not printing the whole document now, we're printing from request to form. Okay. Couldn't find the method div. The method div. Okay, that's a horrible message as well. Couldn't find the div holding the HTTP method. The selector, and then we'll put the selector in here as well, which is method selector. Does that print? It does not. Does it debug? It does. Maybe we should just put the first 50 cars or something. 100. Doesn't like that. Dot toString. It's a lot of work, but anyway, there we go. Okay, so now we've got a beautiful error message. Got error message, panicked. Couldn't find the div holding the HTTP method with selector, and it prints as a selector. Dot method specificity, whatever. There's the div, there's the request. We only get to the start of it, but anyway, we know where we're at. Do we want just 100, or should we put the whole thing? I'll put the whole thing. That's too horrible though. Maybe 1,000. That's enough. Maybe it'll help us find out why now. Wish you could pretty print that, because that would be pretty handy, like with NC coloring. Maybe we can make the selector print a bit more nicely as well. Like we can just get the string out of it. Dot matches, dot clone, dot format. Yeah, format. So it doesn't just give you the string out of it, unfortunately. Good enough. And then you need to put the word selector then. And then we got the HTML, and we're all good, and everyone's happy. And now we can debug it using that error output. Okay, couldn't find the div holding the method with selector dot method. And why is that? Is there a dot method in here? That's too much information. It still doesn't have enough in there, so maybe I need to do something funky to get dot method. We've got a dot method here. It's beautiful. You have to go span dot method. Do I have to? Okay, let's look at the code. This should definitely have some wrapping, man. Is that legit formatting? Still looks pretty bad, but whatever. So we did the top, we did hash single column and got every single div from it. Then we're looking inside the div. I'm going to call this fragment because that helps me know that it's a fragment. Or I could just put the type in there, I suppose. Rename. What have I done? Space rename. So we've got the fragment and we're printing out the fragment, and the fragment is humongous. Let's print out the whole thing again and actually look. I mean, we know it should be good. Okay, the start of the fragment is h4 request is collapse endpoint to endpoint body. So let's find .endpoint body. Nope, that's not what I want. Ah, maybe it's because it's collapsed and something funky's going on. Yeah, so the trouble is that it's collapsed, maybe. It's got accordions in there. I don't see any. Do we have to? That's a table, so the table's there. Okay, dot method first. Let's find that. We got that. So there's a whole bunch of them. Okay, let me just. The dot methods are not collapsed, so it should just work. Dot method, background color red. That's not working. Okay. Inspect. It is a dot method. That's right there. So we search for content API section, then every single div underneath it. So we got this div, which is the single column div, which is what we see here. Kind of some point to endpoint body. That's not what we're seeing. The endpoint header. So why are we picking up the endpoint body? That we're picking up that div with that selector somehow. Okay, but we want, yeah, no, that's cool though. We still, yeah, we want both of those, and then the header. And okay, so this is tricky. We want the header and the body. So I guess we got to decide on each one. Is it a header or is it a body? Okay, so, and that's why it's failing. So we're going to go header or a body, and it should be able to pair it. Dot tuple. What is the word to chain them? No. Intersperse. No. I want to put them in a pairs. Partition. Fold. Reduce. Max. I guess we could partition them. Yeah. Okay. You know what? We'll get the headers. Endpoint header. We won't call it top selector. We'll call it headers. Header selector. Body selector. And then there's no more top selector. And then we can just zip them. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just go here, get the HTTP method and URL path from the headers. So we want to make a new whatever. We'll just we've got this. We've got the API calls. We're going to call that. There's no more top selectors. It's going to be header selector. There's no S. API calls will become headers, I guess. Headers. Header fragment. I pretty should have used the proper rename thing. So we're going to go through all the headers, and I mean, basically what I would like to do is map them and collect the whole thing. So yeah, let's do that. Why is there a dot sum there? That's crazy. Huh. Map header fragment. And then what we would do is go return. Okay, method. And then we don't need to print it. Dot collect. Do we need to collect it? Yeah, we do, because it's a back of string, is it? It's a back of ampersand string. Because we're collecting in a result, we can just straight away dump it. So this becomes header fragment. So the issue is that we were getting both the header divs and the body divs, and then it was saying, looking in the body div and going, nah, I can't find a get method. Yay. Why is that here? That's got to be fragment. Cool. I think I've got to put like that. Are we happy now? Turbofish. And headers is not used, so we're just going to print len it here. Print len. Pretty print debug. Hey, somebody typed something. No, they didn't. It's just me. Sad. Done. Yay, we've got 3 methods. Happy day. Now we've got the headers, so now we can let's do the, I'll just write in here to do get the bodies, pass the bodies. Bodies. GST, get commit -am. Now get commit -a dash amend. Now reads the HTTP methods. We also need to read the paths. So we need the header was going to be, we'll put our own little struct in here. With a lifetime to make it extra fun. Nah, come on, we just stop being crazy. Header. And it's going to have a HTTP method, which is a string, and a path. And then that is also going to have a path, which we're going to put in there. And an HTTP method needs to actually read that, and it's going to come in as a full upper, so we need to put a pass in there. We could, okay, we'll move that later on. We'll move that. Okay. So we've got the method. Now we're going to read the path, and we're going to create a header out of it. Method.text.next. .map. Struct. String. And get it an actual string. Cool. That looks happy, and it's going to be happy in a second. Now we're going to get the path, which is here. Inspect element. It's literally .path, and then we just go .html. Oh, and it's also got docs in there as well. Okay. So got the header is going to have path and doc string, which is also a string. And it's also going to have a doc string. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Okay. So read the path and then read the doc string, which will be that. So we need a path selector for the path, which is going to be this. Which rename this to it's hurting itself. That needs a not. Rename. I can't rename because it's just freaking out right now. I'll do it myself. I'm going to call the HTTP method selector. then we need the path selector. Let's just copy and paste, and again. And docstring selector. And dot path. And then that'll give us a span of dot path, and then it's dot path dot p. Dot path dot p. Cool. Let's do it. Read the path. Equals header fragment dot select and path selector dot next dot map span dot text it's not map even, it's and then span. I'm just going to do it on one big giant thing. Dot map, and that's going to be the text node. How do we get the text out of it before? I can't remember. .html. No. Where's the .text that we used before? Text. That's the only place I'm using it. Okay then. We'll just have to look at the docs. Element ref text. Returns a text node, and then how do we get the text out of the text node? It's got a format. Oh, it's iterator. And next will be one of the things in it. Count layer. And it returns option to a reference of a string. So text dot next map to string. Oh, it's right there. Look. So we're getting that dot next, and then we're going text dot map string. That's returning a reference to a string, right? Yes, an option to a reference to a string. Now it's got text dot next, which will return the selector, and we want to get just one of those, which will give us a text node, which is path selector is dot path. A span will give us a span, and then we want to get the text out of it, which will give us a iterator text node. We only want to get the first one, and then we want to turn that into a string. If you can't, then bail. Same thing. This is a nicer way of writing it than that. Let me do this one the same. Yeah, that's a pretty way of doing it. I like that. Okay, it's gonna have a thing, semicolon. Couldn't find the div. What are we doing in this? We can't find the span holding the URI path. path selector. Do we just do it like that? Yeah, we do. And then we're just going to print the fragment HTML, which is header fragment .html. Everybody's happy. Wow, that actually worked quite well. We've got the path then, and then we're going to do the same thing for the doc string, which is doc string selector. Poor REST analyzer is freaking out right now. And in that case, it is a span, and then it's a p, and just dot text. That's all we need. Same thing. Couldn't find the. I guess we shouldn't specify the element, or just say element, because it might change later. Okay. And this becomes docstring. Everybody happy? The HTTP method is the thing, and that's got to become so we could pull that into one giant error message by doing that. Dot next dot and then we're gonna go what are we doing for the and then here? Span. Yeah, we should change span to element to make it, because this is a p, that's a div, and that's a span. And the same thing here. We've got the element, and we want to go element dot text dot next dot map string to string. That does everything in one method, one line. And then we say couldn't find. Here's what it says: couldn't find extract a text method. Couldn't find the. Well, it's not really the element anymore. It's more. Couldn't find the value. I couldn't find the HTTP method really. That's it. Couldn't find the HTTP method. That's cool. And that goes join, delete. That goes there. That goes away. Join. It's not going to be a vec of string. It's going to be header. Vec of header, and everyone's happy. What's wrong with docstring? Cool, and then we're going to print the header. Now header doesn't have a derive debug. Can we do that? Yes, we can. What's wrong with this? That's okay, it's just saying did code. Okay. So it should print the path. Oh, it's got an error message. Let me just have a drink of water. it's saying here, Panic couldn't get the element holding the URI path with selector dot path. That should totally work, man. Maybe it's the text part that broke. That's the trouble with moving it all into one giant thing, because you got your dot and then and everything. So the method's working and the path's not working. Delete. Can we... The path select is good. I guess we just need to test that. What the path selector is. Just see if it's getting the element. I mean, it's a little prone to debug if it's... Wait for Rust Analyzer. Debug element obviously worked because it's printing out all that crap. So it's getting the element, it's just not getting the text out of it. Let's go debug the text. Web scraper element text is some. So it's literally got the text right there. Why not work? I don't like the word URI in there, the error message. So it's getting the text, it's mapping it to a string. I'm gonna get rid of nope, okay, fine. Match delete that. It's mapping it to a string and then it's going else couldn't get it. Maybe it's working for some and not for others. It's working on the first time and not on the second time, that's what it is. Okay. Let's have a look more closely at the fragment that's failing. Method get. So it's instrument slash candles. That's the first one. Couldn't get element holding. Ah, you know what? Maybe it does. I've written the same message twice. There it is. I naughtily made the message, copied and pasted it. So this is the doc string. And I get rid of all the element holding. Holding the couldn't find the doc string with path selector this. Okay, and we're just going to look at the message without even running it because the doc string is dot path. That's the wrong doc string. That should not be using the path selector, that should be using the doc string selector.